recording this. There we go. Since we are recording this, I will probably ask that you all stay muted and have your video off throughout, just because it does impact the recording a little bit for those who are joining us through watching the YouTube channel. So that's just some housekeeping, but definitely we'll have some Q&A time where you all can pop your recording back on, chat with each other, chat with us. So we have some really great content for you today. If you do have questions throughout, just go ahead and put them in the chat, and we have several team members who will be responding to the chats throughout. And don't forget that this is recorded. You do have the option to enable captioning if you'd like captioning on either the recording or the live session, and everything will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. Okay. And so if you need information for the YouTube channel, go back, or our Instagram, which we're also posting some updates, go back to the syllabus that was sent out. All that information is on there. So great. So without further ado, I am handing this off to Corey, Megan, and Mandy, who are going to talk to us about time management, executive functioning, project management, and some really great tech tips for success. And if you saw today, yeah, we put some of our favorite animated stills from our favorite animated movies as our profile background. So just enjoy looking at those a little bit too. So great. I'm going to hand it off to our amazing team members.
All right. Hi, everybody. Thank you, Kim, for the introduction. I'm Corey. I'm one of the accommodation specialists, and I'm going to be starting off our presentation. So we are talking about executive functioning and tech tips. So our goal today is to provide an overview of time management, organization, technology, tools to help students successfully transition to SCAD. And after this, we hope that you all feel better communicating with your professors, with us, managing your time and organization skills. All right, executive functioning tips and tools. So what is executive functioning? I know we mentioned it a bunch. I'm sure you've heard a lot about it, but executive functioning is the steps that our brains take to manage and sort information. So this can be planning and prioritizing, your working memory, flexible thinking, self-regulation, self-monitoring, and task initiation. And so we have 7 core executive functioning skills. We have planning. So this might be writing your due dates into your planner, scheduling your time, organization. So some people might use colors to organize classes, different pens and such. Time management, setting our timers while we're doing work to take a break, or scheduling. Again, that can go to planning. Self-monitoring, that's regulating our emotions. Our working memory, so recalling. Self-control, being able to finish a chapter in a book before watching YouTube videos. I know I am guilty of starting a task and then jumping to something else because I want to take a break. And then flexible thinking. Now, with all of these, it's not always going to be, all of them have to be great. Some of them you might have really good skills at, and others you might need to improve those skills. So organization is a big one. The benefits of being organized is it reduces stress, improve your sleep, you improve your productivity. There's more time for things that you enjoy, reduces overthinking, decreases feelings of being overwhelmed, and increases your self-confidence. So you might struggle with executive functioning. You can experience poor time management or time blindness. I'm sure some of us have heard of time blindness, or being on time for things can be a little difficult sometimes. Emotional dysregulation, disorganization of physical and digital items. I lose my phone daily, so it can happen. Avoidance of feeling stuck due to feeling overwhelmed. So some people might call this like paralysis of some sort. And then easily distracted by unproductive behaviors. So how do we strengthen our executive functioning skills? Well, I'm going to pass it off to Megan, who's going to go over some ways to start.
Hi guys, I'm Megan Chance. I am some of your accommodation support specialists. So we're going to talk a little bit about SMART goals. And so this is a term that you may have heard before. It's used a lot in high school, but these are goals that are going to be obtainable for you. So they're going to be specific on who, what, where, why you want to do something, measurable, possibly using numbers of like, I want to do 3 pieces of homework before taking a break. Obtainable, making sure that this is actually achievable for you to do, relevant, does it meet your needs for a class, and then timely. Add a time limit on there to make sure that you are meeting that goal. So what you guys are going to do is we're going to kind of take a second to chat a little bit. Think of a goal that you can set for this summer. It can be related to Be Ready to Buzz. It could be related to something that you want to do, like travel, or, make a workout routine before coming to school. But let's go ahead and use the chat to just kind of chat with each other to think about what goals you have for this summer. Make sure it's specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, relevant, and timely. All right. I see, I want to make $10,000 and get a good workout in. Awesome. Survive. You've got this. I want to work on my story. Okay. Awesome. Being able to balance work with my freelance art. Is there a certain amount of time that you want to work a week to make that measurable? Make a schedule for myself to keep me organized. Awesome. Get better at drawing. Ooh, and now it's moving really quick. Cure my art block. That is an interesting one. Maybe that's setting aside time for 15 minutes a day just to kind of do art. Finish at least 15 books before school starts. That's a great one. That is a great one. And then working on my sleep routine, ride my bike to errands more, put on a good show. Is that for acting, Zachary? Superb writing skills. I need to get my guest room painted before my sister comes to visit in August. What color, Freya? I think we're all curious about that. Keeping myself from getting overstimulated. And if you need any resources on that, please let us know. You could definitely reach out to us. Read some of the books I was gifted for graduation. Definitely pop some good books in there because us as a department, we'd love to read. So if you have any good reads, send them to us because we love our summer reading. In the next 2 weeks, walk 5 times a week. That is a great, specific, measurable, and obtainable goal. Ariana, you want to be great at making manga. Be more physically active. You guys have so many good ideas. I can't keep up with them. But it looks like you guys have a lot of work to do before the end of the summer. These are so great. Freya said it. Love all of these. Definitely, as you guys are getting stuff done, send us updates to our disability email because we want to see what you're doing. We want to see your projects. So definitely send those and we will be your support. Okay. Awesome. Anyone else have some final thoughts before we move on? All right. So, okay. So, hold on. Okay, there we go. So we're going to talk about a few techniques just to kind of stay on task, and get work done. So this is called the Pomodoro technique. And so what this is setting a time, kind of like a cycle to do work, to set time to focus, but then also take breaks. So you're going to go and you're going to start with categorizing your tasks into a to-do list. Make sure that you put the most important things up at the top so that you can do those first. Set an alarm for a certain amount of time for you to do the tasks. During this time, you should put all distractors away. I know that your phone is going to be a big one. So make sure that that is away and really focus and get that work done. After that, reward yourself with a break and then repeat the process. after a few rounds of this, feel free to take a little bit longer break before you perform another round. And just make sure that you're always assessing that to-do list to make sure that the most important thing is up at the top. All right. And then we have to-do lists, which a lot of you guys probably utilize this already. This is, making a to-do list, putting the things like we talked about, the things that are most important on top, really making them specific, like we see on the screen, illustration sequence due by, February 5th, meet with the cast for dinner, really pinpoint all of those things that you need to do, and utilize the syllabus to do this as well, just to make sure that, you're really, getting everything done that you need to. And then the best part is writing things out that you've completed or scratching things off. This is my favorite part. I always feel like I'm actually getting things done when I can go and scratch things off. Awesome. And then you can also break down tasks, like if you have a big project, which you likely will at SCAD, because a lot of our studio classes are project-based. Take that project at the beginning and break it down into smaller, more obtainable parts so that you don't get overwhelmed, and you can make sure that you're organized, and bring in some of those SMART goals. Right. And then planning. So planning is going to be the most important thing at SCAD. You can use any kind of calendar that you want. When I work with students, sometimes they use electronic calendars on their phone, on their Outlook that they have through SCAD. And then some students prefer to use planners and just sheets of paper with their weekly kind of outline of their week. So what should you typically include on your calendar? Different due dates for assignments, papers and projects, different class times, meetings with professors or groups, appointments with support services, school and social events, homework and study times, break and self-care. So what I always tell my students is, yes, do all of that academic stuff and have all of that in there, but leave time for yourself to also have those social events and time to hang out with friends, because you are going to get so overworked if you don't take some time for yourself as well. So you can, while you're putting those into your calendar, you can color code them based off of the different categories, like class times or when you're going to be doing homework or social events. And, really make sure that you're using your calendars. All right. And then don't forget that self-care. That is going to it's going to keep you going. It lowers your stress, increases your productivity, enhances your self-confidence, and really improves your sleep. So you could do this by having your favorite beverage, unplugging from, electronic devices, finding a safe space, going to sleep early, having your favorite treats like cookies or popcorn, or pizza. Pizza is definitely my go-to when I need some self-care. Have a laugh, color. I have this fun book that I use that is, it's basically like painting per number, but it's in the form of stickers. And so I totally love that. And then you can also journal, go outside, utilize the Calm app. It is wonderful. Headspace as well. And then we are going to dive a little bit into some tech tips. And so it is always so important for you to be professional, especially while you use your SCAD email. So the most important thing that you can do is go and add in an email signature. If you get emails from any of us in the Office of Disability Resources, you will see a signature, because it really is professional and it provides more of that professional experience. It provides clarity and contact information for all of us. And so when you are thinking about doing this at SCAD, you're definitely going to want to put your full name, some preferred names, pronouns, your SCAD ID number. And I have seen students as well, when you guys are assigned your classes, put in their classes and the specific section number, so that each time when you are writing to a professor, you don't have to go and write that information down every time. And so you can go and fill in an email signature in your Outlook Office 365. I typically go and use the web app. You're going to find the little gear icon, which is the settings in the top right of the screen. Scroll down and click on View All Outlook Settings. Select Compose and Reply from the left sidebar. And then under the email signature, you're going to click inside the text box and create your own signature by simply typing into the details. Like we said before, you're going to go and put, your name, your pronouns, your student ID number, and then you can go ahead and save that. You can edit it at any time. So, if you see someone else's that you like their style of email signature, feel free to go and change it. All right. And then how should we address professors when we are writing our emails? And you guys can kind of put this in the chat. Is it ever appropriate to email a professor like you're texting them? All right, I see some no's. I see some big no's. You guys are already professional at this. No, sadly. Yes, no, it is never appropriate to email professors using like abbreviations of words or just, saying okay to them. It is always important to have greetings and closings in your email, just to make sure that it is professional. And like we said, definitely make sure to include your class, your course number, and your section. All right. And then a really good organizational tool that you can use in Outlook is to keep your messages organized by class, person sending it to you, or group. To move specific items to a folder, just click on the message and drag it straight into the folder title that you want to move it to. And then we are going to watch a quick video about how to flag and pin emails for, to help yourself organize a little bit more.
Flagging is a really convenient option for follow-ups. We see it right here. Once you click on it, it indicates that it's red. Now we know this is marked for follow-up. So what we can do now is go to the filter. Go to flagged, and only flagged emails will come up. So now we can follow up with these. We can unflag the message and it goes away to show this has been complete, or we can right click and we can choose a date to complete it or to clear the flag to show that it's not been done or followed up. Flagging can also be linked to your Microsoft to-do list and your calendar. Next, we'll take a look at pinning. That little pin right next to the flag. If you click that, then the email is pinned to the top of the inbox. That way you scroll down, you do whatever, it's always going to be at the top for you to see. This is useful if you don't want to snooze or flag, and you just want it at the top because you know you're going to see it at some point in time and deal with it.
All right. So remember, use your Outlook calendar. It'll help you remember appointments, class time, due dates for projects, schedules of meetings. You can set reoccurring appointments to help with your time management, and you can color code. So your turn, and I always have this conversation with my freshmen as they come into their first few weeks at SCAD, is how often should you guys be checking your SCAD emails? So in the chat, put down some guesses of how many times you should be checking your email. I see some every day, some dailies. Check them daily, twice a day. Every other day, daily, every minute. Don't drive yourself crazy by checking every minute. Awesome. And then why? For everyone who put that they should check every day, why do you think you should check your email every day? Get some answers so you don't miss anything important. To keep up. You don't miss anything. Assignment or class updates to stay on track. Awesome. Yeah, you guys are all on the right track. Definitely don't overwhelm yourself with checking, every hour or every few minutes. But definitely check once or twice a day just to make sure that you're not missing anything. Definitely in the morning and afternoon, just to make sure that you are caught up on all of the information, and that you're replying to everyone who needs to be replied to. Another thing that I like to tell my students is to always do a brief overview of all the emails that come into your inbox. Some of them may not apply to you, and that's okay. You can go ahead and delete those. But the more your inbox just kind of stacks up with emails, the harder it is to find emails that you want to go back to. So just make sure that you check your email every day, and if it applies to you, keep it. And if it doesn't, you can go and delete it. All right. And so we are going to now lead to Mandy, who is going to give us some more tech tips.
All right. Thank you, Megan. That was so great. Can you guys hear me? I'm not sure. I don't see myself. So okay, I'll just be talking. Hopefully you guys can hear me. So I am going to talk a little bit about technology. As we know, it's changing all of the time. There's always new apps and things available. So it's hard to stay, very up to date, but as we learn and grow, we change and we add things to our toolkit. One thing that I really love to use is OneNote, and that's available to you through your Microsoft 365 and as well in Gleam. So we'll talk about those too. So OneNote, if you've never used it or heard of it, it's basically like a digital form of a binder, or maybe like your class, you kept all your work in your binder in school. So instead of having to carry that all around, you've got it all in one place in the cloud. And so you would start a new notebook. Maybe let's say you want to make a notebook for a fall quarter. So you would make that for fall quarter. You can have different tabs. So for each class, you can keep those organized. It helps you can upload images, drawings, audio, things like that, and keeps everything color coded, which you'll hear us talk a lot about. I know some of us really love color coding organization, and you can collaborate with classmates in real time. So each of you can be working in a folder in OneNote, and it all is right there and saved. So how to add a section. So let's say we name this Be Ready to Buzz, and we're doing day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. You just click add a section. And then you can add a title page. So I know for our office, we have a OneNote notebook that we all use, and it's just got lots of up-to-date information, and we can keep adding to it as needed. The other thing you can do is share editing rights. So let's say you're in a group project for a class and you have to work together. So you would share that with your teammates on the project and give them, the ability to edit that notebook. So another technology that we have here at SCAD is Glean for note taking. And so Glean is Glean for education. Sorry, Glean is an audio recording app. So if you have that as an accommodation to record lectures, we would be able to give you a license for it, and then you can use it to record lectures. You can also create different notebooks or different ways of organizing those classes as well. And then there's also a feature that's newly been added that allows you to have a typed transcription. So whether you want to listen to the audio or read what's been recorded there, you'll have that available to you. So here's a quick little introduction about Glean.
Welcome to Glean. We know why you're here. You want a better way to take notes. But we believe that with better notes comes a better way to learn. Taking notes is hard, we get it. It can be overwhelming to try to note everything down and stay engaged during class. In fact, you typically only record a third of the good stuff from your lectures. And if you don't note an important point down, you only have a 5% chance of remembering it in a test. Thing is, note-taking is a skill. It needs to be trained and improved to reap any benefit. And skillful note-taking supports your learning at every stage of your education. Simply put, better notes mean better grades. And Glean means better notes. Glean captures everything from class. Import slides, record audio, and mark up highlights for later review. Stay organized by assigning tasks and group your projects to better manage your time. Come back to your notes later and study at your own pace. Listen back to class audio, add your own thoughts, images, and reference material. Now that's what a set of notes should look like. Complete, organized, and ready to learn from effectively. Take better notes, become a better learner, get better grades.
Okay, so one thing I love about Glean is that not only do you would record the audio portion of the lecture, but it's meant to be interactive. So while you're in class, you can open up your laptop and press record. So you've got the lecture recording, and then you can type directly into the box. It'll be time stamped. And then let's say your professor makes a comment about something that's going to be really important for you to remember. You can put press a button there that has like the exclamation point or a lightning bolt to remind you to go back to that specific part of the lecture. So you're not having to, wade through the 2.5-hour lecture. So if you have an interest in Glean, reach out to your accommodation specialist. I know someone asked in the chat, how do we know if we can get Glean? Ask your accommodation specialist or look up who that might be. Or if you don't know how to access Accommodate, you can email disability@scad.edu. Okay, so we're going to transition to tech for reading. As we all know, there's lots of tech available now. Speechify is one important one that we use a lot. So let's say that you have trouble reading for whatever reason. Maybe you have dyslexia or you have ADHD and it's hard for you to focus and really, comprehend what you're reading sometimes. You can use Speechify. I'll have a video about that coming up. Lots of technology is built into our phones already. So Apple has one that's built in, Android has one that's built in. Many of you have probably used at some point in your educational career, Google Read and Write, which is a Chrome extension that you can access usually for free. And then PCs also have a built-in reading technology, tech for reading. So this is just a brief video about Speechify. So this student who created this technology, this app, has dyslexia. And so he wanted to create a way for him to be able to access his texts. So we're going to take a moment and watch this.
Hi, my name is Cliff Weissman, and I'm the founder of Speechify. So what I'm going to do in this tutorial series is make sure that whether you're 6 or 60 years old, it's super easy for you to learn how to use Speechify. We're going to show you things like how to scan physical books with your phone and have them read out to you. We'll show you how to change the speed, how to import PDFs from Google Drives and other sources, how to sync Speechify with your computer, how to import text from notes and your text messages, and tons more important things. Speechify also has a bunch of power user features that save a ton of time and make it really easy to use. So I'm going to go step by step through each one of those to make sure that, like me, you can save a ton of time using the app. Speechify and the features we built into it changed my life, and it can do the same thing for you. So let's get started.
Okay, so that was really quick, but it's basically an app that you can use. You can take a picture of your text, you can upload a text, so like a PDF, you can upload it into the website in order to have it read to you. Let me go to the next one now. So at SCAD, we are working on getting Natural Reader as an option for testing. A lot of our students already use this for reading their textbooks or reading readable copies of their texts on via PDF. So Speechify is similar to Natural Reader. So I'm just going to show you both of these, and you guys can kind of decide what might work best for you.
Introducing Natural Reader's Chrome extension. Have any online text read out loud within your browser with natural-sounding AI or LLM-powered voices. Keep watching to see how easy it is to start using Natural Reader's Chrome extension. Simply click on the Natural Reader Chrome extension on your toolbar, then click on our voice list to choose from 200+ potential voices, including multilingual LLM voices that can speak 90+ languages. Then simply click on the play button to start playing.
Have you heard of our Chrome extension?
Or click on the line you want spoken out loud.
Did you know that the average person spends over 6 hours a day?
Web pages and articles can often be very distracting with videos and ads everywhere. However, with our immersive reader feature, you can make all the distractions to your reading go away, as well as enable dyslexia-friendly font and enable our blur text feature, which blurs all text except the ones being read.
By highlighting spoken words and offering a barrage of customizable settings, people struggling with dyslexia can seamlessly use this app.
Lastly, Natural Reader's Chrome extension can not only be used to read emails, web pages, and articles, but Google Docs too. Here is an example.
If you want to catch mistakes in your writing, try listening to your text instead of reading it.
Thank you for watching. Try out Natural Reader's Chrome.
All right, so that was Natural Readers. Like I said, we in the Office of Disability Resources are kind of piloting that for our testing center at this time. And then lots of our students are already using that right now to help them, to be better readers, to comprehend, to make it easier for them without, I love that feature where it kind of blurs out all the kind of visual noise that can clutter up the page, just to help you be able to have a more user-friendly experience when you're reading. So just kind of to finish up the tech piece, we have text for writing. So if you have dysgraphia, so sometimes it's hard for you to write, maybe your writing is illegible, you can use Google Voice to type. There's also Google Read and Write, which is the extension. And then there are also built-in accessibility features in your Mac and in your PCs. And then the last one we'll talk about is for math. So let's, maybe you have dyslexia and dyscalculia and dysgraphia, or a combination of all of those. So this particular app is helpful for helping with all of those. So let's take a listen to this.
Hi, my name's Henry. I have dyslexia and dysgraphia.
Frank got his panic under control.
You've probably heard of dyslexia. It makes reading hard. Dysgraphia is like that, but it makes writing really hard. Dysgraphia makes my handwriting pretty hard to read.
I use voice recognition software instead of writing.
But there is no voice recognition software for doing math. And when you can't write a math problem, you can't solve a math problem. So my parents and I created an app called ModMath. It's a free app for anyone who needs it. ModMath turns the iPad into touchscreen math scratch paper. so I can do math homework without ever using a pencil or paper. Long division, multiplication problems, even fractions.
And 2 years later, ModMath has been completely redesigned to handle algebra. Variables, square roots, exponents, and more. Plus, you can share your math homework any way you like. Text, email, print, even save it to Dropbox. ModMath is a non-profit organization, so please donate and help keep ModMath free for all the kids that need it.
Okay, so we just previewed kind of a very broad kind of spectrum of tech tips to help. So what I would like to know, if you would just put these answers in the chat, what types of tech would you like to try? And then another question would be, what other types of tech have you used and been successful using in the past? So we don't know everything there is to know about all the technology that's out there. So if you have something that you've used in the past that really works for you, feel free to put that in the chat as well. So what do you want to try? And then what have you used in the past that has worked well for you, even if we didn't mention it here today. So woo, the chat is going. So ModMath, Glean, OneNote sounds interesting. Glean and OneNote, Speechify. Okay, Orbit Note. I haven't heard of that one, so we'll add that to our list of things to check out. Desmos works really well. Okay, what is Desmos? I haven't heard of that. That's right, Isabella. Speechify is limited unless we have the premium plan. So a lot of students do purchase that. So that's not one that we provide the license for. But if you use that feature a lot, I would say look into purchasing that with a yearly subscription. Studio, which is a digital planner. Okay. Desmos is a free online graphing calculator. Love it. All these ideas are great. Okay. So you won't have too much math here at SCAD unless you're an architecture major. Maybe some interior design majors have a little bit more math too, but usually it's just a general overview of kind of high school math. Oh, thank goodness. Yes, math is not for me. I love all of these ideas. Evernote, I've heard, yeah, we've had that before. Okay. Thanks, guys. That was awesome. Appreciate that. All right, so kind of looking forward to next week. So next week, we would love it if you would wear SCAD swag. So favorite hat, shirt, sweatshirt, scarf, sunglasses, and we will have our topics to be discussed will be student success and advising. They will talk about MySCAD and navigating all the additional resources that are available to you through SCAD Extra, and then tips for being a professional student. Okay, and that I think is all we have. I don't know if Caitlin, if you want to jump back on just to sign us off or sign us out, or
Yes.
Okay,
Definitely.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you all so much. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for the presenters on giving such amazing tips and advice and showing us all that amazing tech. Don't forget, like Mandy said, to wear your SCAD swag, any type of SCAD. We even last year, a student who didn't have a SCAD shirt literally just put SCAD on a piece of paper and stuck it to their shirt, and that is absolutely okay too. But yeah, same link, same time next week. And just know by the end of the day today, the Zoom recording for this session will be up on the YouTube channel. So thank you all so much for joining us and engaging so much in the chat. That was amazing. I hope we answered all of your questions. But of course, if you have more questions about the software we reviewed today, reach out to your accommodation specialist. Okay, thank you all so much. We'll see you next week.